17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Hafner with an update on our winter weather that's moving across parts of mid-Missouri this afternoon into tonight. We've been keeping an eye on precipitation that's been rain, sleet, and snow for the last couple of hours across our area. We've seen some reports of some slick spots, especially for parts of western Missouri over the last hour and a half or so. Sedalia, the temperatures dropped down to about 33. Starting to see some of that sleet mixing with rain there. As you'll see, it's a gloomy evening. Things are looking wet on the roads at this time. We're also going to take another look in Columbia, where temperatures have dropped a couple degrees in the last 30 minutes. We've dropped down from about 35 to about 33, in fact, in the last 15 minutes or so. So that colder air does start to move in, and we are seeing some light rainfall trying to break through some dry air that's been sitting across parts of the area this afternoon. But we have seen some banding of precipitation here over the last hour or two, creating some accumulating snowfall from Marshall back to just north of Warrensburg. That band coming out of Johnson County moving into northern Pettis could create some slick spots, especially on I-70. I just took a look at the MoDOT road conditions across the entire state. The only place we're seeing some slick spots or mostly covered road there is along I-70 in parts of Saline County, western Saline County, from about Concordia to Sweet Springs. So that's north of Sedalia. Keep that in mind if you're going to be heading on I-70 at any point tonight. We could run into some slick spots. Thankfully, the last week or so, our temperatures have been above freezing. We've had some warm road temperatures too. So overall, I'm not expecting a huge impact, but side roads could start to see some of this sleet picking up a little bit. We'll track that heavier band. You'll see the dark blue colors here, even a little bit of yellow trying to mix in on our radar returns, indicating some higher snowfall rates that's coming out of parts of Lafayette and Johnson County, moving into Pettis and Saline. This is all tracking at around 21 miles per hour or so, coming from the north and east. So that's going to be arriving with some heavier precipitation in Lamont by 5:07. Sweet Springs, it's been precipitating there with sleet and snow for a while now, but we'll get another band of that trying to move in by 5:08. Houstonia by 5:13, and Marshall at 5:46. A little bit farther east, been tracking some of the precipitation that's trying to move through some drier air. You'll see a lot of that covering Boone County at this time. I'll have to check outside, but not a lot of this was making it to the ground over the last hour, but that could change as our temperatures continue to drop. Otherwise, we'll be tracking some of this moving into Hallsville by 5:05, and our radars indicating this is mainly sleet. Moving into Sturgeon at 5:08, Millersburg at 5:15, Centralia at 5:24, around 5:42 for Kingdom City, and northern Callaway County and Avaz at 5:47. Eventually Mexico, if this holds together and makes it through that dry air, getting there by around 5:52. We'll take the wider view. This has the loop over the last 2 hours, just showing you the transition from rain to sleet to snow over the last hour. You'll see a lot of that pink changing to blue, indicating where we're starting to see some of those colder temperatures just above the surface, and that's meaning we'll see mainly snow getting into the rest of tonight. Here's what our future track looks like at 7 o'clock. So keep in mind, this updates every hour. So this is our latest run that just came in at around 4 o'clock. We'll get another new one coming in here shortly. Seeing some of that snow band lifting north of I-70, and this is when temperatures are going to be uniformly above or below freezing north of that I-70 corridor. This is where we'll pick up another dusting to a half an inch of accumulation. As we get into the rest of tonight, past midnight, snow starts to become a little less widespread, very hit and miss, and possibly just seeing a couple of flurries in that cloud cover into Sunday morning. So impacts are going to be limited, especially where we have snow. If we continue to see a little more of that sleet, we'll be watching for some slick spots, especially on side roads or neighborhood roads into tomorrow morning. But it does look like the cloud cover starts to move out by midday, leaving us with some sunshine and temperatures getting back above freezing. Here's what our latest snow tracker looks like. This is actually matching up with the future track I just showed you. So it's pinpointing around a half an inch to almost an inch in a couple of areas. You'll notice it's kind of picking up on that band of heavier snow back towards Marshall and north of Sedalia. So that's good news. It's just giving us a better idea of what we can expect into the morning. Generally seeing less than half an inch for most areas, and not expecting anything that would be causing issues towards Jefferson City and the Lake of the Ozarks, because temperatures are well above freezing there. We're almost 40 at the lake now. We're about 38 in Jefferson City. Just wanted to show you that temperature change. We're seeing some drier air in place. So as we are seeing air temperatures in the upper 30s to almost 40 degrees, this is what the dew point temperature is. So the lower this number, the drier the air is. The higher, just showing where we're having a little bit more saturation. So we do have some dry air in place. That's making for a little less accumulation across areas east of Highway 63. Have wet road conditions along I-70, but farther west, as you're crossing into Saline County and then back towards Kansas City, that's where we have some slick road conditions. That's where the road temperatures have actually dipped to near freezing, just to the east of Kansas City, this dark blue area indicating where we have temperatures below 32 degrees on the road. So keep that in mind, some slick spots possible there from about Boonville towards Kansas City tonight. Here's what our future road temps tracker looks like for the rest of this evening into tomorrow. We could have a couple slick spots into the morning. Overall, though, I'm not expecting widespread problems. As you'll see in the morning, we have road temperatures just above freezing for most of the northern half of the area. And as we get towards afternoon, things definitely improve. Air temperatures get up to about 40 degrees, and then if the road temperatures climb up into the 50s. Of course, we're going to keep an eye on the road temperatures and conditions into the rest of this evening. You can get those updates on abc17news.com, and forecaster Sawyer Jackson will have an update tonight at 9 on Fox 22.